This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and that fire. If you guys notice, everybody, when it comes to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, are focusing on narratives instead of the actual fight. You're a fight fan. Your number one goal is to focus on the biggest fight to date. October 9th is going to represent a culmination of the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury is going to be the crackhead that he is. Deontay Wilder needs to reveal if he's not going to take a pay to lose, if he's not going to take a glove gate, and if he's going to step up to the plate and knock out Tyson Fury. This is what it boils down to. This is the biggest fight since Spence versus Pacquiao. Now that fight would have dwarfed Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder if Earl the True Spence would have been there, because it would have been the rush hour of boxing. But it was big nevertheless as Pacquiao versus Ugas. That was a great fight. But this fight right here, because that was Pacquiao versus Ugas, this fight is bigger. What's at stake at the heavyweight division is you have the black heavyweight in Deontay Wilder, and you have the white heavyweight in Tyson Fury. Quintessentially, through time, the heavyweight division has been dominated by black heavyweights. When you look up the posters and you look up the pantheon of greatness, you see the George Foremans of the world, black. Muhammad Ali's of the world, black. Mike Tyson's of the world, black. You get where I'm going with this? The Jack Johnsons of the world, black. You see where we're going with this? You see where we're taking this? The Sonny Listons of the world, black. Black fighters have dominated the heavyweight division. It has not quintessentially been white fighters. When you look at Tyson Fury said he grew up looking up to who? Mike Tyson. His name Tyson in Fury is named after Mike Tyson. That means he grew up looking up to the swag of a black heavyweight. He grew up looking up to the swag of a black heavyweight that was explosive, that knocked people out. Now we know Tyson Fury doesn't fight nothing like Mike Tyson. But the heavyweight division is at stake here with a black heavyweight reinstilling, reingratiating, and reinvigorating the fact that black heavyweights dominate, and they're supposed to dominate, period. This is why this fight come October 9th is so critical for the likes of a Deontay Wilder. Because Deontay Wilder has to step up to the plate, and he has to prove why black heavyweights are not a thing of old. Anthony Joshua went and fucked around and lost to Alexander Usyk. That screwed things up on that side of the aisle. But Deontay Wilder's job come October 9th is to reinstill that, reinvigorate that, reingratiate that, and to put that into its forefront. October 9th should be about that. Not about Tyson Fury, is he gonna cheat again? Listen, it doesn't work like that. When a situation happens the way it does in a fight, it's not going to reciprocate itself. Let me say it again, because what I said was so deep and profound. So hear me and hear me fucking well. In the three-pronged monster clause of economics, politics, and pugilism, when something happens the way that it happens, it's not going to find itself happening again in that same fashion. Just look at the first fight and the second fight. Two different dichotomies. The first fight had an Undertaker. Basically, it took Tyson Fury 11.4 seconds to get the fuck up, even though he got knocked out. The second fight had Deontay Wilder lynched on Black History. A dent in the fucking skull. Glove gate via paid to lose. Permanent stainage in his boxing resume, because when that happens to a black fighter, that's what happens. Those different dichotomies, those different stakes are not going to reciprocate itself in the third fight. Because the third fight is going to be fundamentally different. Each fight will be different, especially when a trilogy was signed, sealed, and delivered. by the Frank Warrens and the Bob Arums of the world before the first punch was through in the first fight. He Knows Everything is the only one, formerly known as He Knows the Sport, to bring this up. Nobody else is bringing that emphatic point up. Deontay Wilder has a mission. This is why He Knows Everything tells him to shut the fuck up, gird up thy loins, put on, his manliness, and get into the ring and knock out Tyson Fury. It shouldn't be about running your mouth. And all these people say, well, he's just trying to sell a fight. You Rudy Poo and Plum brain. You classic dope and troglodyte. You ultra fanboy and ultra fangirl with the ultra fanboy and ultra fangirl rhetorics. This fight sells itself. It's that big. Go look at the numbers they did the last time around. They almost hit 1 million. So they're going to shatter 1 million this time around. So why does Deontay Wilder need to focus on the marketing aspect when he just needs to higgity fucking hush and reveal and show that he is the heavyweight that he's supposed to be and just knock out Tyson Fury? That's what it boils down to. That's what it should be about. Deontay Wilder understanding that black heavyweights need to re-ingratiate, reinstill, and revitalize the fact that black heavyweights have always dominated since the eon of heavyweights, since the eon of fucking boxing. It's always been quintessentially about the black elite fighter. This is what Deontay Wilder needs to have in the front of his brain, the middle of his brain, and the back of his brain. Let me say it again. The front of his brain, the middle of his brain, and the back of his brain. Re-ingratiating that dominance. Tyson Fury being where he's at in the position that he's at right now is abnormal. It's not supposed to happen. Alexander Usyk, it's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to have great white hopes dominating heavyweight divisions. That's weird as fuck. This is why the Anthony Joshuas of the world needs to slap himself 1 million times. No. Slap himself infinity time. So if I'm Deontay Wilder, I need to understand that. Step up to the plate and knock out Tyson Fury and re-ingratiate the dominance of black American heavyweights. This is what it boils down to. This is the burden. This is the weight. This is the anvil that Deontay Wilder carries. And if Deontay Wilder is not seriously looking at it from this standpoint, but running his rabbit ass mouth, then he's going to miss the big picture here. That's what October 9th should be about. That's what fight fans should be talking about if you're a Deontay Wilder fan. That's what fight fans should be talking about if you're all about black elite fighters. You want to see the re-ingratiation. You want to see the reinvigoration. You want to see the installation of a black elite fighter taking his fucking throne. Now, if that's not the cold-hearted, that's not the unadulterated, that's not the cutthroat true teller fashion, then I don't know what it is. So Deontay Wilder, shut the fuck up. Focus on the mission at hand. Get the damn job done. Tyson Fury is going to be who he's going to be. He's going to use every trick under the book. But what happened in the second fight is not going to reciprocate it. And if fight fans think that, then fight fans have revealed themselves as peon brains as they truly are at their truest and their most prosperous levels. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.
Go ahead, he knows.